Okay. I want to believe every one of us had a very great and lovely day. The topic, the topic I was given to speak on is a very interesting one because it's very peculiar to me in person, and my entrance into real estate was through land. So it's a very very interesting topic. And when the CEO got to me and told me the topic I'll be speaking on, when he sent the invite to me, I was very very amazed because it's something I really love and a sector of real estate that I really, really encourage people to venture into. It is land banking. Land banking. And the major emphasis is placed on maximizing land banking opportunities. Maximizing land banking opportunities. We've already started. So if you are with your paper and pen, you have advantage. If you are in transit, you can use your notepad and all of that so that you can learn. And in class today, I'll be learning from you also. Now, my entrance into real estate was a very funny one because I was naive about the sector. I really didn't even know how to navigate the whole system. In fact, I've been having it in mind to be a real estate agent since when I was in school because I was faculty president that time. So a lot of persons were meeting me and then asking me if there are available houses for rent and stuff like that. So I was a little proud, or should I say my ego could not allow me venture into real estate at that time because I was thinking, real estate, how it will me go they do house agents, that kind of something. So I was finding it very, very uninteresting. I saw it as something that's uninteresting to do. But in my final year, I saw something different. I got a different perspective about real estate. And after I graduated from school, and then there was this particular year, the COVID came, and then everything was very, very terrible for almost everyone. I was very frustrated. I was depressed. I was in a state of depression. So I ventured into looking for how I can start making money because I recently graduated from school and the COVID came. A lot of things happened, you understand? So I was now looking for means where I can actually make money. So at that time, there was the invasion of digital marketing. Everybody was preaching digital marketing, and it was just everywhere. So I then said, okay, let me even venture into digital marketing. I started learning and learning and learning about digital marketing and all of that. So the whole of 2020 was a year of discovery for me because I was venturing into different things in the online space, trying to get the best of the digital space so that it can be actually beneficial to me. Now, how did I venture into real estate? There was a particular day one of my uncle called me, my mother's younger brother. He called me and he told me that his landlord has a land for sale. That if he wants me to help him sell the land. And I was like, uncle, I don't have any idea about how to go about selling lands and all of that. But after he said I should just try, I should look for a way. So with the experience I've had about digital marketing and all of that, I just said, okay, let me at least put this up in my WhatsApp status. Please, can you guys hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So I decided to put it up in my WhatsApp status, and then I just posted I have a plot of land available for sale in so location and all of that. So very luckily for me, or did I say luckily? It was very funny that close friend, a childhood friend, the person replied my DM and was like, "The land you put up for sale, is it genuine?" I said yes, that it's genuine. It's my first time now, so I had to come very real and very true to the person. So I had to tell him it's my uncle's landlord that has the land and the person is putting it out. The landlord wants to sell the land. So the guy was like, okay, when will you be free so we can go and check the land? I said, I'm free, I'm not doing anything. And besides, it's 2020, everybody's sitting at home, nobody's doing anything. So I quickly called my uncle and I was like, I've seen somebody that wants to buy the land, but I don't know how serious the person is. But the person wants to go and check the land. So my uncle sent me his landlord's number, and then I called the landlord, and then we went on to check the land. And immediately the guy actually bought the land. Like after seeing it, we didn't even spend up to 4 hours there. I was very surprised. Like, is this how simple this whole process is? So somebody can just make money just like that. I believe that land sold for about, was it not 1.4 million or so? I cannot really remember again. So after the guy made the transfer immediately, so it was very, very particular about the genuinity of the property. And me myself, I was afraid not to go do something that will cause issues later. But from the fact that the land actually came in from my uncle, I got a little security on that aspect that okay, there's no way my uncle's landlord will scam my uncle. So you understand where this is coming from now. So I was asking a lot of questions in the process. When I'm with the landlord, I will ask him a lot of questions. I will ask him how genuine is the property. I will ask him because in our current day Nigeria, or in current day in the Yoruba land, we call them Omonile. I'm not a Yoruba guy, so please forgive me. So like they're like the original owners of lands. So I was very, very afraid. In Bielsa, we call them APA people. So they are the original owners of land. And we have heard stories how they will sell land to like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 persons, and then issues will come up. So I was always very particular about asking questions. So even the landlord got to a point, he was like, this boy, you just they ask question, you know the tire. So I was that was how would I say, that was how I was very, very conscious of selling genuine property. And that was my very first entrance into real estate. After I closed that sale, we got a surveyor to survey the land. The guy actually fenced the land. So that experience taught me a lesson. And then after I closed that sale, and then they gave me my commission and all of that. How much was my commission? Was it not 140,000 or thereabouts? 10% of 1.4 million. That was my commission then. And it was a whole lot of money to me, because I'm just coming out of a state of dilemma. You understand? 2020 was very terrible for me. I was coming out from a state of dilemma, and I was like, Jesus. So I can make this amount of money by just posting in my WhatsApp status. So I saw real estate, I saw the sector as something that I can actually venture into and then make more money from it. So my original intention for going into real estate was just to get money. So what did I then do? I started studying. I went into studying. I went online on YouTube. I started research about real estate, and then I came across Dr. Stephen Akintayo. I believe you people will know him here. If you know Dr. Stephen Akintayo, let me see your messages in the chat box, please. If you know Dr. Stephen Akintayo, you can drop a message. All right, great. So I came across Dr. Stephen Akintayo, and then I downloaded all of his, like 80% of his YouTube videos. I downloaded 80% of his YouTube videos in my laptop, and I started listening to them. I started feeling myself with his content. I started learning and learning and learning. So that was my entrance into real estate. And it was very interesting, because the original mindset I had for real estate was just to make sales and then go. But now it has gone beyond that, because I've set up a structure to actually help me do even more than just selling. And if you listen closely, by the grace of God, since then till now, I've made sales running into millions, and I've helped a lot of families to secure real estate investment opportunities, and that's to the glory of God. Now, over to the topic we have today: maximizing land banking opportunities. Maximizing land banking opportunities. How do I relate this to what I earlier said? My very first encounter with real estate was land, not even a house, was land. So the original idea behind the land was that, okay, after the guy buys the land, he's going to build on it. That's what he had in mind. So after he bought the land, he fenced it, we did survey and everything like that. And after I closed house, I started learning about the industry. So I got to know about land banking. And then after I've downloaded enough knowledge about land banking, I went back to this my guy, and I told him he can actually make more from not just buying only one plot of land, but if he can buy more plots of land in that particular area and then venture into land banking opportunities, it will make him more money than just buying only one plot and then leaving it like that. So in the topic, you can see that we have two very important terms: maximize and land banking. And I'd like to talk about these two things. Please, I want to know if I'm going too fast or I'm too slow. Let me know, please. Am I too fast? You can use your mics, please. Am I too fast?
No, you're not too fast. You're not too fast.
Okay. Is it only Senator FR we have here? We have other persons. So I'd like us to be very interactive.
No, sir. Yeah, not too fast. You can hear you.
Okay. Great. Now we have maximize and land banking. Now, in a great context, we can say maximize. The term maximize actually means to unleash the full potential of something. To unleash the full potential of something. When you say I want to maximize a particular thing, you're actually talking about getting the best of that thing. It means to increase the capacity and the power of whatever you want to maximize. And in the context of our subject matter today, to maximize land banking opportunities means to increase the power and the full potential of land banking. In the context of our text today, to maximize land banking opportunities means to increase the capacity, the power, and the full potential of land banking. You can write that down so you won't forget it. To increase the capacity, power, and full potential of land banking. Now, during the introduction, I heard some person saying that this is their first encounter of real estate, and this is the first time they're getting to hear about real estate and all of that. So I'll quickly like to just tell us about real estate. Real estate, in simple terms, means property. It consists of land and the buildings on it. Any land you see with a building, or even if it's a vacant land, that's actually real estate. So the land and any permanent structure that you have on that land, it could be a house, it could be an office space, it could be an industrial building or anything like that. All of those things actually fall under real estate. And now you can see that when you come out from your house, when you look at your environment, everything you see, whatever thing you see is real estate. Immediately you just step out of your house, when you look to the left, to the right, to the back, to the front, everything you see is real estate. So that's to tell you how powerful real estate actually is. Now, what is land banking? For those of us that are already into land real estate, you know what land banking is. But for the benefit of those persons that want to be enlightened about real estate, land banking is one of the oldest methods of real estate. It's one of the oldest methods of real estate investment. In simple terms, it is a system where you buy land either in small units or in bulk. Now, when I say small units, you can buy one plot of land, you can buy two plots of land, you can buy three plots of land. Then when I say in bulk, you can buy like 1 acre of land, you can buy 2 acres of land, 3 acres, 4 acres, 5 acres, and all of that. That's bulk. Now, so land banking simply means buying land either in small units or in bulk, and then you keep that land without doing anything on it, like without building any structure on it. You keep that land for either a short period of time or a long period of time, so that you can resell it when the value of that land has gone up. Land banking simply means buying land in small units or in bulk, and then you keep that land for a given period of time, either a short period or a longer period of time, so that you resell or you develop it when the value has gone up on that land. Now, I said when you're actually doing land banking, you leave the land like that. In most cases, it's advisable that when you buy a landed property from anybody, either an individual, a real estate agent, or a real estate company, you add value to that land. Now, how do you add value to your land? The very first thing is by fencing it round. By fencing it round. By fencing it round. Now, I need every one of you to take note of this. I have 3 ingredients for land banking, 3 ingredients that are needed for land banking, and I want you to type them out. Number 1 ingredient is foresight. Number 2, humility. And number 3, execution. 3 ingredients for land banking. Number 1, foresight. Number 2, humility. And number 3, execution. Please, you can type that. You can type it out. Now, I will come back to that. So, adding value to your landed property will actually give you room for you to maximize the opportunities that are already present in buying that land alone. Adding value is not only in the waiting process. It can be done by simply clearing your land, because some properties, some lands, when you buy them from places that are still bushy. So you can add value to that land by clearing that land, and then you fence it. Some persons, most of them, it's very, very advisable to buy from real estate companies, because these people actually go extra mile for you. So they do perimeter fencing, they do gatehouse to secure your land. So it is very, very advisable to buy from real estate companies. By doing this, you are already taking charge and authority that the domain is meant for you. Like that land space that you've bought now, either 1 plot or 2 plot or acres of land that you bought. When you've added value to that land by clearing or by fencing that landed property, you're already taking charge of that property. Now, somebody write this down. Never let your land space remain in a vulnerable condition. You should take authority over it. You can write that down. Never let your land space remain in a vulnerable condition. Take authority over it. You can write that down. People will always want to encroach your property. That's why I say you should add value to it by fencing it, clearing it, and then taking domination over that land that you bought. People will always want to encroach on other people's lands because it is still in a vulnerable condition. Now, when you buy land from anybody, either a Monile or real estate companies or an individual or somebody that's bought before that wants to resell, there are still unscrupulous elements that would want to come and then take charge over that land and all of that. So it's always good to add value to your property. When you do that, you reduce opportunities for people to encroach or to resell your land without your actual permission. When you do that, you are setting boundaries for people to know that this land has already been taken and nobody actually should come over to this place. Now, on investing in land banking, there are some things you need to take note. When you are doing land banking, like I said, buying the land and then leaving it for a period of time to actually appreciate in value, then you resell or you develop it. Now, when you define, there are some things you need to put in place when doing land banking. Now, you have to define your reason for doing land banking. There are other sectors of real estate that you can actually go into, like rental properties, commercial real estate, industrial real estate, and all of that. But when you are going into land banking, I want to make you understand that land banking is not something that you will do today and start getting profits immediately like you want. And then there are also some case scenarios where you can buy a land today, and then you're already in profits at that point of buying. Yes, there are scenarios like that. As we go on, I will let you know. I will expose you to all of those opportunities and those. I will expose you to the insights of that. Now, one of the things you need to put into consideration when doing land banking is to have long-term vision. Long-term vision. You need to understand that when you buy land and then you are leaving it for a period of time to appreciate in value, you are not buying that land because in the next 1 year you want to resell it. You are not buying it because in the next 2 years you want to sell it. Now you are buying that land because you are seeing the future of the land, and then you know that in the nearest future this place is going to be of high value, and then the value of that property must have gone up by a relative percentage. So it's not just that you are buying that land because you want to trade it like though you do in forex. Real estate is not like forex and crypto that you drop your money there and then you study the market and then you pull out your cash and all of that. It doesn't work that way. If that's your mindset for wanting to invest in land banking, you may actually get it wrong because you buy your property now and then you lose out again when by the time you want to sell. So it's always good to have the objective of long-term vision. Now, another thing you should put into consideration for wanting to do land banking is either for cash flow or capital gains. Either for cash flow or capital gains. And in most cases, land banking is simply for capital gain because you can buy a land for like 1.4 million naira. And then when you leave it for a given period of time, the property actually appreciates in value. So you resell, let's say you leave it for like a period of 4 to 5 years, depending on the location, and then the other properties in that area actually have gone up in price, and then you are selling for about, let's say, 5 million, 6 million, 7 million, a property that you bought for like 1.4 or 1.5. So that's actually capital gains, capital appreciation. So when you sell, you still have your capital intact, and then you are having your profits also from the period of waiting for that land. And there's this very popular quote that says, "Do not wait to buy land, but you buy land and wait." Why do you do this? Because when you wait to buy land, you are actually depriving yourself of the profits that you ought to make already from the initial point where you ought to buy that land. So if a land is selling for like 1.4 million naira, and I can see that there are other properties in this location that will add to the value of that land that is selling for 1.4 million naira, and then you do not buy that land at that point in time, and then you are waiting and saying, okay, don't worry, when this place develops, I'll come and buy. You will buy at a very much more higher price. You buy at a much more higher price, and you've deprived yourself because you initially knew about the price that it was sold before the property actually increased in value. Now, Dr. Stephen Akintayo is my role model, and there's this quote he always says. He says, "Money is a reward for the risk you take yesterday. Money is a reward for the risk taken yesterday." So when you see an opportunity to invest in land banking and then you quickly grab that opportunity, you have taken a risk. You have taken a great risk. And now the risk is not that you are losing out on what you are doing, but for the fact that it is going to be beneficial in the future. So if you want to be very rich, if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to be rich, you have to engage in taking risk. And money is one of the reward that is given from the risk we actually take from any decision we make when investing in real estate. Now, I'd like to proceed on how we can actually maximize land banking opportunities. How can we maximize land banking opportunities? Now, strategies you can use to get the best of land banking opportunities. The very first strategy I have here is for you to buy at pre-launch price. You can type that out. Buy at pre-launch price. Let me see it in the comments, please. Buy at pre-launch price. Are we together, please? You can unmute your mics and respond. Are we together?
Yes, we're together. All right.
All right, great. Now, great. Now, when you buy a property at pre-launch price, you are already in profit. You are already in profit. Now, let me give a case study. One of the real estate companies I'm working with, we have an estate called Greenland Estate in Edo State, Eboma precisely. At about 2 years ago, when was it 2 or 3 years ago when that company launched, we were selling our 300 square meters for about 700,000 naira. It was selling for 700,000 naira. And even before then, we had a pre-launch price. Yes, thank you, Mr. Fortune, 2 years ago. So we had a pre-launch price. And that pre-launch price now, let's say, for example, if the launching of the estate, if the estate launch price was 700,000 naira, there was a pre-launch price of about 400,000 naira. I'm just giving an instance. So there was now a pre-launch price of 400,000 naira. So if at the point of buying at pre-launch price of 400,000 naira, you are already in profit because by the time they will launch that estate, the property has actually gone up in value by a relative percent. And that's like how much? Let's say 300,000 naira addition to your 400,000 naira initial capital you used to buy. So you're already in profit of about 300,000 naira. So when one of the ways you can maximize the land banking opportunities is to take hold of pre-launch price. When you see an estate launching for pre-launch price, I'd advise you to grab that opportunity, particularly for those of us in this class that wants to invest in real estate, or those of us that wants to get the best of real estate by being a real estate agent and all of that. You can know all of these things so that you can advise, you can provide consultancy services to your people, and then encourage them to get properties at pre-launch price. You've not even started making returns until you make a commitment for a property. Until you make a commitment for any property that you're buying, you've not started making any returns. So when you buy lands at pre-launch price, you're already making money and in profit compared to those persons who will buy at the launch price. So you can see the case scenario where I gave that the estate pre-launch price was about 400,000 naira, and then the launch price was 700,000 naira. Now, those persons that are coming to buy that land at the launch price, they're actually paying you that you initially bought at pre-launch price. You're already in profit. You understand? You're already in profit. So it's more or less like they waited to buy instead of buying to wait. So you that bought initially at the pre-launch price, you bought and then you waited for the property to appreciate in value. So when it appreciated in value, it went up and then the price also went up. So whoever is buying now is now buying at a much more higher price. So it's always very encouraging. It's very, very good to take advantage of pre-launch price. So if you want to get, in fact, this is one of the strategies that a lot of billionaires that we know in the world today they use. Even Kanye West. I was seeing one video where Kanye West was in a very large landmass. The place was very good with hills and valleys and all of that. And then he was telling us how he got that property at a very cheap price, and then he was going to launch that estate, and he had an initial price to it. In fact, if you check the whole of Lagos, that's what is actually going on. Every estate, every new estate that comes into play, you see them telling you buy at pre-launch price. There's a pre-launch price, and then there's also a launch price. So when you take the pre-launch price, the estate pre-launch opportunities, you are already making profit. So that's one way to maximize land banking opportunities. Now, the second strategy to maximize land banking opportunities is by being disciplined. By being disciplined. Everybody type it. Be disciplined. Please type it. Let me see. Let me see your comments. Be disciplined. Come on. The energy in this room is very, very low. Please. Be disciplined. I want to see it. Let's go on. Be disciplined. Be disciplined. That's the second strategy I would like to show us. Now, let me give you an insight. Yes, I can see you. Okay, Kunle, Omotolanle, gracious, significant billionaire, Senator CFR Cheshe. I can see very. This is awesome. Now, yes, I can see Toby, my man. Thank you, beloved. Be disciplined. Yes. Now, let me give you an instance. Let me give you a story. When I ventured into real estate after I began making sales, and all of that, because of the knowledge I already gained, after I made my very first sale, what did I tell you? I said I went into learning. So after I made my first sale, I went back to the drawing board. I started learning. I went to download videos on YouTube, started learning and learning and learning. So I knew that it's not just about making sales, it's about also investing, because you cannot be doing what you are not telling, you cannot be telling people to do what you are not doing. Somebody should type that. Do not tell people to do what you are not doing. Type that out. Don't tell people to do what you're not doing. So that's what I did. When I started making sales in real estate, I thought it wise to also invest in real estate. I thought it wise to invest in real estate. Now, what did I do? There was one property I bought. There was one property I sold rather. After I sold that property, I got a profit of over 400k, over 400,000. So what did I do? I went to look for a land in a very remote area that I know will be developing very soon. I went to an area that will be developing very soon, and then I bought land in that area. I bought a landed property in that area. Now, what did that actually teach me? It taught me the act of discipline. Now, after I bought that land, I kept it for in fact, that land is still there. I've not even touched it. I've not even done anything to it. In order to get the best from real estate, you need to be very disciplined. When you start investing in land banking, you'll be tempted to sell your land. Yes, especially when things go south or when things go north or west. When the economy actually goes bad, you'll be tempted to sell your land. But discipline will enable you to continuously see the future of your investment. Discipline will enable you to continuously see the future of your investment. Somebody should type this. I don't know. I'm getting very, very great inspiration this evening. I'm feeling like a pastor right now. Discipline will enable you to see the future of your investments. Develop a strong, disciplined attitude that you won't start thinking of selling your lands or your property when things go south or when things go bad. Develop that strong discipline so that the only way you can actually get the best of your investment is by holding for a very long period of time. By holding your property for a very long period of time. Some persons will project that, yes, I love what I'm seeing. I love the energy in the room. The energy is very high. And this is awesome. This is awesome. So some persons will project that in order for you to maximize the best of your land banking investment, you should leave the property for like 5 to 10 years. If possible, of course, you can even do that, but depending on your investment objective. If you want to invest in land banking for a short period of time to develop that property, of course, you can do it within 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, you can do it. But if your intention is just to buy that land and then leave it so that when development comes to that area, the value of that property will actually go up, and then you are making more gains from that investment. So you can actually leave it for either a short period of time or a long period of time. So it is only discipline, it is only the act of discipline that can enable you to see the future of your investment. So the second strategy to maximizing the best of land banking opportunities is by being disciplined. Now, very quickly, I want to go over to the third strategy to how to get the best of land banking opportunity. The third strategy is by buying from trustworthy people. By buying from trustworthy companies. Buy from trustworthy company. Buy from trustworthy company. Now, when you want to invest in real estate, like my story, I told you that my entrance into real estate was actually from my uncle that told me that he has his landlord has a land that he wants to sell. Now, initially, I was having no idea about how to even navigate the system. So I was always asking questions. I don't want a situation whereby I will sell land for somebody and then the person will not be afraid, and tomorrow the person will have issues and all of that. I was very, very skeptical. I was very careful not to make that mistake. So I was always asking questions. Somebody type this out. Ask questions. Type it, write it out. Ask questions. Ask questions. Write it out. Ask questions. Now, when you ask questions, it will help you to navigate the system in a very great way. When you ask questions, it will help you. It will help you to maximize the best of your investment so that you will not invest your money in something and at the end of the day, you start regretting that you did that thing. If you don't ask questions, you will probably go into something and then you regret at the end of the day. So be cautious enough to not buy lands from ingenuine landowners. Be very, very cautious enough to not buy lands from ingenuine landowners because you end up spending 10 times the amount that used to buy that land. And that's very, very true. That's the truth, rather. That's very, very truthful. If you do not ask questions, you will spend 10 times the amount that used to buy that land on solving issues, like going to court cases, settling this person, settling that person. You will spend more money. So it is very, very important that you buy from trustworthy companies. Now, it's not only about buying from trustworthy companies also. You should also look at real estate agents that are very trustworthy and reliable. And I can tell you very well that Home Connect Global is a very, very reliable real estate company that you can work with. Even myself, I have helped diverse number of persons to invest in real estate, and it's been awesome. It's been awesome. You understand? So you might want to invest with persons that are trustworthy. Now you need to check the record of these persons to know how trustworthy these persons are, so that you will not fall victim of scam in real estate. And now, how do you even identify genuine companies to buy from? This is one big company. This is one big question that a lot of persons will not ask. How do I know genuine real estate companies or genuine real estate agents that I can actually invest with? Number one, check for results. Somebody type that out. Check for results. Type that out. Check for results. Come on, the energy is going low. Check for results. Check for results. I want to see it in the comment. Check for results. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, you want to be very sure that the company you are buying from has successfully delivered other real estate projects to some other persons, and you are not just the first person that the person is actually doing that from. You understand? You want to go ahead. You want to be very sure that the person, that the company or the real estate agent you are buying from has results, and people can actually say that yes, this person is trustworthy for you to go with. Like for my own case scenario now, the very first sale I made in real estate, the only reason why that my guy could trust me so much to buy from me was because he knows very well that I'm a person of integrity. Because he knows I'm a person of integrity and that I will not lead him to doing something that will be detrimental to him. So that was one of the things that he actually banked on when he was actually when he resorted to buying land from me. And then what did I also check on my own aspect on the process? What did I check? I checked if that my landlord was a reliable person. Now, this was the strategy I used. I said, okay, since it is my uncle's landlord, this is the person my uncle bought from. So, and my uncle has built his house on that land until today, he does not have issue. That's one result. You understand? That's one result. That's one fact that yes, he has done something that somebody can point at and say, yes, this is one of his project, or this is one of the things that he did. So I said, okay, since it is from my uncle's landlord, definitely he is not going to be scammed. So, and even in the process, when I went there, it wasn't that I was the only person the man was actually selling to. He was selling to other persons also. And I could see that there are other persons that were there to come and buy land from that same person. So it was a very, very good reason for me to proceed. And then before I even did that, I went on to ask. I asked my uncle very well, Uncle, hope say this your landlord no will give us issue. And then he made me understand that he has referred his other brothers to buy from that man. You understand? He has referred his other brothers to buy from that man. And the houses that my other uncles have built are still from that man. So that's results. So that's one way to check if a real estate company or a real estate agent is trustworthy. Check for results. Then the second strategy you can actually use to verify the validity of what you want to go into is to do your due diligence. When you've been shown the property, request for the land title. Request for the land title. Request for the land title. Ensure that you understand that land title very well. It's not about hearing that the land is a C of O or is a deed of conveyance or deed of assignment. Do you understand what a deed of assignment is? Do you understand what a C of O is? Do you understand what a deed of conveyance is? Do you understand what a survey plan is? Now you need to go extra mile to understand all of these things. Understand them very, very well. It will help you to know the status of that land that you want to buy. There are some lands that are already in government acquisition, but some persons don't know all of these things, so they just go ahead and they're like, okay, now government land. Or some persons they'll be like, okay, now government land before, but they don't release them. But you don't even understand the land title on it. Some persons they will say the land is gazette, and then there are some other titles to it. You don't even know, you don't understand what the meaning of the land title is, but immediately, yeah, okay, this is the land title. You're like, oh yes, that's it. But that's not it. You go extra mile to understand what the land title actually entails. So you want to scrutinize your survey plan, because there are some lands that they will show you. They will tell you that this land has survey plan already. But when you take that land and the survey plan to the ministry or to the registry or anywhere, they will tell you that that land does not exist. there are scenarios like that. You understand? There are scenarios like that where you will say, okay, they will tell you this land has survey plan, it has deed of conveyance. But when you take all of those things to the registry, the land does not even exist. So you would want to go extra mile to scrutinize the land titles and then the survey plans that you've been presented with. You'd also want to check for the master plan of the location where you want to buy that land from. Somebody type that master plan, master plan. Somebody type that out, master plan. I want to see that in the comments. Write that out, master plan. You want to check for the master plan of the location where you have been shown a land that is available for sale. Now, if a real estate company tells you that they have land in so location, let's say Ekpe, for example, it's very, very pivotal, very, very important that you ask for the master plan of that location, which is Ekpe. You'd want to know if the land is in a residential area or in a commercial area or in an industrial area of that location where you want to buy that property. So that you will not go and buy property in a commercial environment and then you are building residential apartments there. The government will bring down your property. You understand? You want to understand the master plan of the location where you are buying all of these things from. So when you do all of these things, when you check for results, when you do your due diligence by knowing the land title, the survey plan, and knowing the meaning of it, it will help you to make very well informed decision when you want to invest in real estate. Are we learning something tonight? Are we learning something tonight? Are we learning something? You can unmute your mic and respond to that. Are we learning something tonight? Awesome. I can see the response. Awesome. Now, I want to take us to the fourth strategy on how you can maximize land banking opportunities. I want to tell us now the fourth strategy you can utilize to maximize land banking opportunities, and that is starting with what you have. Start with what you have. Now, when you come online on social media these days, you hear people saying, I just bought 6 plots of land, I just bought 3 acres of land, I bought 4 acres of land, 5 acres, 100 acres of land, and then you'll be afraid. You'll be like, where I want to start from for this industry like this? So, where I want to start from. So, sometimes you even be confused. You'll be like, if I want to do land banking now, so does it mean that if I have only 1 plot of land, I'm not doing land banking? No, you can do land banking with just 1 plot of land. Although it will not be very, very beneficial, but it's still very okay that at least you have a very tangible asset that you can fall back to. You understand? So it doesn't mean that you must have everything, all the billions, all the millions and trillions before you start doing land banking. You can start small. You can start small. Start with what you have. Look for lands that are selling for like 500K, 600,000, 700,000. You can buy like 2 plots, 3 plots. In fact, you can even buy just even 1 plot and then start from there. You can buy 1 plot and then start from there and gradually increase your portfolio by buying more of lands. You understand? So when you do this, you're actually breaking a chain in your life. You are moving on to the next level where you are actually exposing your mind to the great potentials that lies in real estate. So you don't have to break your banks at all. You don't have to go broke because you want to do real estate, because you want to secure a piece of property. You use your last money to, except you have other means of getting more money. You understand? Except you want to have other means, except you have other means of making money, then you can take that risk. But you don't have to go broke because you want to invest in real estate. Somebody should type that out. You don't have to go broke to invest in real estate. Somebody type that out. You don't have to go broke to invest in real estate. Now, investing in land requires prolonged waiting time. Investing in real estate or investing in land banking requires prolonged waiting time. So, if possible, start by buying a plot of land. Do you understand me? Especially those of you that said you just want to start investing in real estate. This is your first encounter in real estate. You can start by buying a plot of land. You can start by buying a plot of land. When you buy a plot of land, it gives you this form of freedom. You understand? It gives you this form of security. As I am now, 3 years ago, if they told me that I'm going to be a landowner, I would doubt, like for real. Honestly, because a lot of times we say that yes, we plan our life and say in the next 5 years we'll be married, we must have bought a car, we must have bought this and that and all of that. But when I sit back and then when I sit down and look back at my life 3 years ago, and then I'm like, wow, so I'm the one that have gotten this amount of land. How did it start? Did I start buying like plenty lands at once? No, I didn't start like that. I started from somewhere. I started by buying a plot of land. That was how I even started. I bought 1 plot first. Then as I made more sales, I reinvested my profits back into real estate again. So that's the strategy I used. When I made sales, I invest in land again. Sometimes, in fact, I've even stopped posting that thing. I stopped posting. If I make any sale before, I will post it sold. But now I've stopped it because when you close a deal and then you start posting online that you sold it, although it's very, very good for social proof, but you see a lot of people billing you and all of that. Me, we just try and make ends meet. You start billing me. You just get as it be. You understand? You just get as it be. So I rather just keep mute. You understand? I rather just keep mute and then do my thing low key. So before, if I make a sale, I will post it. I just made a sale so that people will trust me and want to invest with me also. But now I just have to go low. When I make a sale, I will reinvest that money in real estate. I will reinvest that money in real estate. So when I make a sale, I reinvest it. I invest in knowledge. I learn. And learning does not even stop. Learning continues and continues over and over again. So it's an awesome experience. So you need to start with what you have. You understand? Start with what you have. Somebody type that. Start with what you have. Type that out, please. Start with what you have. Awesome. I can see. Now, the fifth strategy that I want to share with every one of us, the fifth strategy before I share the fifth strategy with every one of us, and the fifth one will actually be the last strategy I'll be talking about, I want to tell us some of the things we should not do when doing land banking. Some things you should not do. Things you should not do when doing land banking. Number one, do not use money you will need now to buy land. Somebody write that down. Do not use money you will need now to buy land. Money you know you will need in the next 2-3 minutes or in the next 3 or 4 days. Do not use it to buy land. Do not use it to buy land. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. Do not use money you will need now to buy land. Now, the next thing you should not do not expect quick returns when buying land. Also, Mr. Fortune said, don't use your last card. Yes, so don't use your last card to buy land. If not, you will regret it. You will be like, and then talk say you will make profit from real estate. So don't use your last card. Now, the second thing is don't expect quick returns when buying land. Do not expect quick returns when buying land. Let me give us a case scenario. Another way you can make money quick from real estate is by taking on the first strategy that we discussed about, which is buying property at pre-launch price. When you buy property at pre-launch price, that's one fast way to make quick money. You understand? Because if they say the land is going to be, if the estate is going to be launching in like in 1 week or in 2 weeks, and then they are selling at pre-launch price, that's one way to make quick money in real estate. You understand? That's a very deep secret that I'm sharing now. That's one way to make quick money in real estate. You understand? That's one way to make quick money. But when you say quick money, sharp returns, like you buy the land today and tomorrow you're expecting that you make 1 billion naira from that land. No, that's not how land banking works. So do not expect sharp returns when buying land in real estate. Now, another thing you should not do when land banking is that you should not buy land with your emotions. Do not buy land with your emotions. Do not buy land with your emotions. Somebody should write that down. If this one hits you strongly, write that down. Do not buy land with your emotions. Now, let me give you a case scenario. The place I went to buy land was bush. Now, I'm talking about my very first land now. The place I went to buy land was bush. Now, when I got there, initially, I was like, this place, how long it will take for development to reach this place? How long will it take for this place to be developed? I was almost allowing my emotions to override me. You understand? Now, there's already an expressway passing through that place. That's number one sign that development is going to hit that place in the next few years. But I was so blind to it that I was only seeing bush. So I was almost allowing my emotions to override me. And that's what a lot of people do these days. When they take you to buy a land from somewhere, what you see is bush. You are not seeing the future of that place. What you see is bush. You are seeing bush in that place. Now, back to the 3 ingredients that I told us earlier. It takes somebody with foresight, somebody with humility, and somebody with ability to execute to buy the bush. Did you get that? It takes somebody with foresight, somebody with humility, and somebody with actual ability to execute to buy the bush. You can type that down. Or you can write that down. It takes somebody with foresight, humility, and ability to execute to buy the bush. That's a very powerful one. You should even tell your neighbor after this class. You should tell your neighbor. It takes somebody with foresight, humility, and ability to execute to buy the bush. And if you remember very well, those are the 3 ingredients I told you are needed for land banking. So you need to have foresight. You need to be able to see the future of that land that you want to buy. You need to be able to see the future of that property, the location. You need to be able to see that, okay, this is the area where people are moving to. I need to go here and buy it. That's foresight. Now, humility will now humble you to be disciplined. Humility will now humble you to be disciplined in the extent that when you buy that bush, You will know that, yes, for the fact that this place, I am futuristic about this place, I know very well that my investment will yield profit for me. And then it takes you, it now takes you to have the ability to execute your patience, for you to execute securing that property. You understand? So those are the things that you should actually put in place. Now, another thing you should know is that on bush, you should not see that a land is bush forever. Any property that is shown to you will never be bush forever. There is no way a bush will be bush forever. Every bush you see today is a city tomorrow, is a mega city tomorrow. Today, you hear a lot of persons shouting Ekpe, Ipejuleki. A lot of persons are shouting Ekpe and Ipejuleki. And that of our property we have in Edo State, in Ekpoma, we have been shouting Greenland Estate, Greenland Estate. A lot of persons are buying that place. There is money in the bush. There is money in the bush. Somebody should type that down, please. There is money in the bush. Buy the bush. Woo! This is amazing. I'm feeling like a pastor now. Inspiration is coming everywhere. There is money in the bush. Awesome. Now, another thing you should not do when land banking is not relying on your own knowledge. Do not rely on your own knowledge. Do not rely on your own knowledge. Do not rely on your own knowledge. From the examples I've been giving us and the stories and everything that I've been telling us earlier on, I told us how I was able to go back and then study about real estate, knowing about the industry, executing what I've already known. Now, if I had said, okay, because I don't make sales now and then my profit, I use it to go to something else, that's to my own detriment. You understand? Because I will be telling people to buy land. People are investing in their future, and then me, I'm wasting my own by spending my profit on something else. So do not rely on your own knowledge. You'll find out that when you give into learning, it exposes your mind to the great potentials that lies in what you have deep inside of you. When you give into learning, it exposes you to a lot of other opportunities that you have deep inside of you, great potentials inside of you. I told you earlier on that myself and the CEO of Home Connect, we were 2 weeks ago, we were at one of the biggest business summits in Lagos State, hosted by Nola Adetola, on how to set up your business and all of that. We are learning, we are still giving into learning. And that's what we are even doing in class today. In this webinar, we are giving in to learning. We are here to learn. And I want to encourage every one of you, even after this class, go over to the YouTube, go to my page. I have a lot of content for you in that place, for you to know about real estate, to understand real estate sector. Go to Facebook, it's there. Go to YouTube, go to TikTok, everywhere. Bombard yourself with everything that has to do with real estate, so that you don't rely on your own knowledge and then go wrong when you want to invest in real estate. All right, so that being said, I don't know if we still have time, so I'd like to quickly just rush through the last strategy we have here. I'd like us to rush through the last strategy that we have here. Invest in the right location. The three kings of real estate is location, location, and then location. The three key powerful tools in real estate is location, location, location. And when you go online, you hear people talking about location a lot. So invest in the right location. How do you identify the right location, which is best suitable for your land banking investment? Number one, town planning. I've mentioned it earlier on before. Check for the master plan of that location where you want to invest your money in. You need to know the architectural design of the area, the architectural plan of that location where you want to invest your money in. If it's a small estate that you want to buy, check for the architectural plan of planned layout structure for your investment. You want to check for the planned and proposed layout structure of the location. You want to check for good road networks. You don't want to buy a land in a place where you are coming out from your house now in a Poto in the mid for road. You don't want to invest in that type of place. But if it takes for you to be very futuristic and all of that, you can also invest in that place. There's nothing wrong doing that, you understand? So you need to check for road network. You need to check for the quality of drainage system that is in that environment. You don't want to invest your money in a place that will be flooded. Like one of the major challenges that the real estate sector of Bayelsa State is having is this yearly flood that we are having. And I know it's not just peculiar to Bayelsa State. There are also other states that are being affected by flood. So it's a very, very terrible thing. So you want to check for the quality of drainage system that is in that place. You want to check for water supply. You want to check for the security of the location. You want to check for nearness to transportation system. You want to check for proximity to educational centers and all of that. So these are the things you need to put in place to checkmate your land banking. This is one of the things. Location is one of the key factors you need to put in place to maximize land banking opportunities. Now, success does not begin from anywhere. It starts from your mindset. Success starts from a mindset, and land banking success begins when you take action. Land banking success begins when you take action. You can write that down. Land banking success begins when you take action. So it's not just about learning today. It's not just about knowing what we are studying today. It's about taking action. It's about putting everything that we've actually learned today into work. It's about taking everything that we've actually learned today into play. If you want to become a successful land banker, you need to start seeing the future of every bush you see today. Come on, that's very powerful. That's very powerful. That's very powerful. If you want to become successful, if you want to become a successful land banker, you need to start seeing the future of every bush you see today. You can write that down. If you want to become a successful land banker, you need to start seeing the future of every bush you see today. That's very powerful. All right, so I'd like to conclude on this note. Land banking is one of the oldest ways of real estate investing, but it still proves to be the best and most reliable because you can see it, you can touch it, you can feel it. In fact, everything, you understand? So you need to follow verbatim everything that we've learned in class today and be sure never to neglect the place of due diligence when investing in real estate. So you need to put all of these things into practice. It's not just about learning all of these things today. I want to believe that you took note of everything that we've learned today. I want to believe you wrote down everything that was learned today. Now, land banking is created to wage a successful war against inflation while it still yields results and profits in economic downturns. You can write that down. Land banking is created to wage a war against inflation while it still yields profit for you in cases of economic downturn. Land banking is created to wage a successful war against inflation while it still yields you profits in economic downturns. That was very powerful. All right, so that will be everything that we've learned today. That will be everything that we've learned today. I'd like to just summarize everything that we've learned. So, number one strategy to maximizing land banking opportunity is to buy at pre-launch price. Then the second strategy is to be disciplined. The third strategy is to buy from trustworthy real estate companies. The fourth strategy is to start with what you have. And then the fifth one is to invest in the right location. Now, all of these things that I'm sharing with you are not just things that I just formulated anywhere, but these are things that in fact, when I was preparing for this class, I sat down and I was like, what did I really even do that helps me to be successful in land banking? What did I really do that helped me to be a successful land banker? And then I started analyzing every simple step that I took. I started analyzing everything, and then I came up with everything that we are learning in class today. So you need to make the decision to buy assets. You must make that decision to buy assets, buy more assets, because land banking is created to wage a war against inflation while it still yields you income in economic downturns. It yields you income in economic downturns. Thank you very much, and that's all I have for today. God bless you all. A big thanks to the host, Mr. Fortune, CEO of Home Connect, for having me today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.